For the announcements of our starting lineups. As we get set, Wallace will make their way to the sideline. Dan Valeria has already done so, and we bring aboard our public address announcer, Troy Thomas, who will give us the starting lineups for this third place game between the Jaguars of Dan Valeria Community College in Danville, Illinois, and the Governors of Wallace Community College out of Dothan, Alabama. Now let's go to Troy Thomas for our starting lineups.
Wearing number 4, a sophomore, Derwin White. Wearing number 10, Njcaa Mathis. Wearing number 14, a sophomore, Reggie Taylor. Wearing number 30, a freshman, Chris Carradine. Wearing number 32, a sophomore, Ray White. Wearing number 34, a freshman, Hillard Bradley. Wearing number 40, a freshman, Rob Meir. Wearing number 44, freshman Wade Jones. And wearing number 50, a sophomore, Daniel Seaton. And now the starters for the Governors of Wallace Community College. Starting in one guard, wearing number 12, a sophomore, Jason Sanders. At a second guard, wearing number 20, a sophomore, Mario Otis. Wearing number 22, a freshman, Jamal Morris. Wearing number 24, a sophomore, Alexis McMillan. And wearing number 42, a sophomore, Bryant Harris. The Governors are coached by Mr. Eddie Barnes. And now the non-starters for your Jaguars of Danville Area Community College. Wearing number 10, a freshman, Brad List. Wearing number 20, a freshman, Derek Jackson. Wearing number 33, a freshman, Emil John. Wearing number 34, freshman, Virgil AKERS. Wearing number 35, a freshman, Eric Durrett. Wearing number 40, Shedrick Crawford. Wearing number 42, a freshman, Richard LESKO. Wearing number 43, a freshman, Chris Johnson. And wearing number 50, a freshman, Ezra Renault. And now the starters for your Jaguars of Danville Area Community College. Starting at one guard, wearing number 23, a sophomore at 6'2", Oscar Sanders. Wearing number 24, a sophomore at 6'1", Pat Pachariz. At one forward, wearing number 30 at 6'5", sophomore Sherman Foster. At the other forward, wearing number 44 at 6'5", our freshman Ryan Petty. And the man in the middle for the Jaguars, wearing number 52, a sophomore at 6'7", Eric SOWDER. Your Jaguars are coached by Mr. John Spezia. And their mascot, working the sidelines, Buzz.
And our thanks to Troy Thomas, our public address announcer here at the Mary Miller Complex for this third place game between Danville Area Community College and the Governors of Wallace Community College. Wallace will be in their traveling red uniforms, trimmed in black and in white, while the Jaguars will be in their home white uniforms, trimmed in green and in gold. It's a nice championship evening atmosphere we have on hand here, Tim Fisher, where we have St. Joseph Ogden High School band playing. We've got music prior to tip-off. We've got a decent crowd on hand, and we're sure that'll grow as the night goes along. We are set for action.
We're ready. The Jaguars and the Governors. Should be a fantastic third-place matchup.
And the officials are set. The players make their way around the center circle. We are set. The ball is in the air, and the third place game of the Njcaa Division II Men's Basketball National Tournament is underway, and Wallace will control. Out to the right-hand side. They're going to work into the hands of Otis. Otis up top and around the perimeter. They work in the middle of the floor from Morris to Sanders. Back in the middle. Now to the right-hand side, Morris, and we've got a push away from the basketball, and that's going to be against Danville Area's Sherman Foster. Foster will pick up his first. It'll be the team's first.
Foster just trying to work through a screen there. They had a double pick on the other side to run the guards through, and he pushed off trying to fight through that screen.
Inbound to the left-hand side, Sanders. Sanders out beyond the perimeter, drives to the baseline, throws it up, missed it off the back of the rim, tip no good, and the rebound by Danville Area. SOWDER with the basketball. Gives it off to Sanders. Sanders will bring it across the midcourt stripe. Off to the left-hand side. Looks and feeds in the middle of the floor, Petty. Petty on the bounce, throws it away, and it's picked off by the Governors. McMillan up the floor. He'll go coast to coast. He lost a handle on the ball, and he kicks it over to the drum set where Buzz will chase it down. And the turnover will give the ball back to Danville Area.
Not a good pass there to start that first offensive sequence for the Jaguars. Something encouraging for Wallace there. They were able to get a hand on an offensive rebound, something they haven't done in the first games here.
Pachariz at the center court circle, rolls to the right-hand side. Now comes back to the left on the bounce pass, Sanders. Sanders, 18 feet away, tosses it down low, SOWDER wide open, and he gets the bucket.
SOWDER should be able to get some easy looks tonight against a smaller Wallace team.
And we've got a shove. This after an attempted turnover, and it is going to be a turnover, plus the foul on Wade Jones. That'll be his first and the team's first, and Danville Area will get the basketball.
Wallace is going to come out, put a little man-to-man full-court pressure on the Jaguars right now. We'll see if they can get them to get into their high-speed game.
Sanders spins off the pick, dishes to Petty in the forecourt. Petty in the cross-court. Pachariz up top, Sanders. Right-hand side, Foster. Foster out beyond the arch. Dribbles to the top of the key and now feeds. Pachariz shoots the three. Missed it off the front of the rim, and the rebound by Wallace. Otis will push it across the green stripe at mid-floor to the left-hand side. At the free throw line extension, he works back up top to Sanders. Sanders in between. Looks to the left-hand side and now gives. Otis up top to McMillan. McMillan to the right-hand side. Looking down low, now gives. Sanders with the ball, dribbles into the paint, stops, feeds underneath on the drive. The put up by Morris won't go. Gets his own rebound, stripped from behind. Jump ball the call, and the possession arrow belongs to Danville Area Community College.
But another offensive rebound there for Wallace. That's got to be a good sign that Coach Barnes is liking, the fact that they're able to get to the offensive boards.
Jaguars off the inbound. Give from Foster back to Pachariz, and Pachariz will work his way to the right-hand side of the floor. Across the top of the key into the left, Sanders. Sanders against the zone, goes to the right-hand side, Pachariz. Back up top, Sanders. Wide open, Petty. Fakes the shot, takes it wide open, lane into the left-hander is good.
Fantastic move by Petty there. Just saw the opening, went right for it, went straight to the glass with the basketball.
Out on the right-hand side. Otis will hold for the Governors, and he throws it away. Unforced error by the Governors, and the ball will belong to Danville Area with a 4-0 lead. 17:37 left to go here in the first half.
And the Governors, you can see, they're a little out of sync, a little bit on offense. They've been able to get a couple good looks, but the Jaguar defense has been playing a big part in that.
On the inbound, they work the ball to Foster. Foster to the left-hand side of the forecourt, now out beyond the perimeter. Dribbles to the top of the key. Stops and feeds to Petty. Almost picked off. He'll dish. Right-hand side Sanders. Cross-court Foster on the baseline. He stops, pops, and scores.
Foster over 2 defenders with the follow away, was able to get it to go.
6-point lead for Danville area. 17-12 left to go in the first. Here's a 3 on the way. It is no good by Sanders. Rebound inside by Morris. Put back by Harris, and it's good. Brian Harris with his first 2 on the second chance effort.
And another second chance effort so far. Wallace is getting those offensive rebounds.
Sanders gives the ball to Foster. Foster down low Sanders. Sanders will pop. Scores from 16 feet out.
Sanders just turned, looked, able to get a nice shot off a screen there from Petty.
8-2 the Danville area lead, and 4 DACC players have scored. We've got a foul, and this is going to be on Pachariz as he tried to strip the ball away, and that will be his first, the team's second.
Just a little over-aggressive, just reaching in, able to tap it out. He thought he came away with the ball clean, but the official thought of it a little bit differently.
Some interesting statistics from our first 16 games we'll be passing along to you here at one of our dead ball spots. That courtesy of Fred Kroner from the News-Gazette. Here's a 3 on the way, and it is good for Dante Mathis, his first 3 of the ball game.
Nice screen out top there by Daniel Seaton, able to seal off the defender, able to spring him loose, and he nails down the big shot.
8-5, Danville area with the lead and the advantage. Sanders to the left-hand side, out beyond the arc, top of the keeper. Pachariz will try to counter with a 3, got it!
Pachariz got the screen there that time. Eric SOWDER was able to get him to the screen. It's nice to see Pachariz able to knock down a shot. He was just 2 of 9 last night.
McMillan kicked out to the right-hand side. The missed 3 by Morris, in Danville area with the rebound. Up the floor they push. To the right side, Foster on the baseline, spins out of traffic. It's going to be stripped away, and we've got a foul. And this is going to be on Sherman Foster. He lost the handle on the ball and then tried to prevent a Governor from going after it. In doing so, picks up his second personal foul.
One of those frustration fouls, just reaching after he had committed the turnover to try and create a turnover. And it's not a good foul, and we talk about it all the time when you're committing them that far in the backcourt.
Oh, we'd love to see you come on out here to the Mary Miller Complex. 2 great basketball games tonight, including our national championship. Wallace with the ball, quick feed underneath with the put in. It won't go, and the rebound on the floor, scooped up by Danville area. Mathis never could get a clean shot at the hoop once he got down on the baseline. Danville with the ball, they feed over into the left-hand corner. LESKO up top now to Sanders. Sanders to the right-hand side, LESKO. LESKO stops, looks around, feeds up top Petty. Petty to the left-hand side, Pachariz over in the corner to Sanders. Sanders on the cross court. Pachariz shoots the 3, missed it off the side of the rim. Rebound fought for, picked up by LESKO on the Danville area baseline. He's looking for help. Goes in the middle. SOWDER wide open, and he gets the layup.
Great look by LESKO on the turnaround after he was able to pick up the offensive rebound after he set a fantastic screen to free Pachariz.
13-5, Danville area with the lead. 14:50 left to go here in the first half. Out on the left-hand side, Wallace with the ball on the drive. Ray White went charging into the paint and was hammered.
And that's one of the things I was able to talk to Coach Eddie Barnes before the game. He said their offense keys on 3 things. First one's dribble penetration. If they're able to get to the hole, then they're going to take that shot. If not, they're going to kick it back out. It also keys then on ball movement around if they're not able to get that, and then screening away. Those are the 3 things they do on offense, and they do them very well.
Ray White with the ball on the left-hand side, off the Wallace inbound, up top to Deron White, over to Ray White, and he's going to be fouled by LESKO. That'll be Richard LESKO's second personal. It'll be the team's 5th, and the Governors are 2 fouls away from going to the charity stripe. Off the inbound up top to Ron White, and we've got another foul. This one is going to be against the Governors. So not only is that going to be a foul on Daniel Seaton, it's also going to be a turnover.
And it was a moving screen there trying to free up one of his men on the inbounds play.
14:35 to play here in the first half. Danville area with the ball, 13-5. They've got an 8-point lead. To the left-hand side, they work Pachariz. Pachariz looks down low, now dribbles up top. Gives to LESKO. LESKO out to the right side, Sanders. Sanders on the long cross court. Comes down deep onto the baseline. They work down low inside, and Petty throws it away. Picked off by Mathis. Up the floor, McMillan. McMillan one-on-one, and the layup is good.
Alexis McMillan, one of the standout performers throughout this tournament. He's able to get the fast break, and you don't want to start letting him run up and down the court.
13-7, Dan Valeria's lead at 6. 13:55 to play here in the first half. Sanders on the left-hand free throw line extension, gives to Petty. Petty at the charity stripe, missed it. Souder, rebound underneath on the reverse, blocked away, and we've got a foul. Boy, McMillan thought he was off to the races, too. You could see the gleam in his eye.
The advantage that the Jaguars have down low, they have to take advantage of. It's something that Wallace knows throughout the season. They've had this problem as far as not really having a center, not really having anyone on their team that plays a lot that's over 6'5".
That foul on Ray White is his first. It's the third against the Governors. First free throw on the way, up and good by Souder. He's got 5 points. Just to let those of you know who are coming out to the game tonight, cutoff for buying your 50-50 raffle tickets are at the start of the last game. Are you ready for this, Tim? The winner of the 50-50 right now would receive $3,603.
Well, I know I've got my tickets in there, and you can write it down. I'll take you out to dinner if I know you have nothing to do with pulling out the ticket, but if I win, dinner's on me.
Second free throw, no good by Dan Valeria. Wallace with the ball. Up top, McMillan shoots the three ball, and he's got it.
There's that ball movement once again, the screening away after they make the pass. McMillan drains the three from the top of the key.
14-10, Dan Valeria's 8-point lead cut to 4, and they're going to throw it away. McMillan with the steal. 3-on-2, the breakaway up the floor. McMillan in the corner to Ray White. Ray White saves it right on the edge. Tried to work it into Seton. It's going to be picked off by Sanders.
The problem with that possession started when McMillan made the steal. He tried to dribble out of it instead of just picking up the ball and then setting up an offense. He made a bad pass down here, and it turned into a turnover.
Let's go down low. Souder, open, layup, good, and he's going to be fouled from behind.
Souder, once again, is going to be one of the keys for the Jaguars. You see it again right there. He's able to slide behind the defense, get the bounce to him. He's able to go up with it and get fouled from behind.
Souder with his 7th point of the ball game. 16-10, Dan Valeria with the lead. And Souder will try to add the old-fashioned three-point play. It is good. He's got 8 points. Also for Dan Valeria, Petty with 2, Foster 2, Pachariz with 3, Sanders with 2. For the Governors, Mathis with 3, McMillan with 5, and Harris with 2. They trail 17-10, and the Governors have the ball. To the left-hand side, they'll dribble. Deron White up top to Seton. Seton to the top of the key. Left-hand side, McMillan. McMillan to the free throw line. Dribbles to the left-hand side, kicks to Deron White. White in the paint to Dante Mathis. Out to the right-hand side, McMillan. Up top, White. White on the drive. Stops now, feeds. 3 on the way, McMillan. Got it!
He's a shooter, and you don't want to get a shooter hot. That's now 2 in a row that he's hit. And it's the passing and screening away.
He's got 8. 17-13. Out to the left-hand side. Dan Valeria gives the ball to Petty. LESKO on the lob to Sanders, and the layup is good. Sanders with the back door has got his 4th point of the game. 12 minutes left to go here in the first half. Wallace with the basketball. They trail by 6. Across the top. Ray White to Deron White. White to the left-hand side. Gives the ball up to Mathis, to Seton. To the right-hand side, McMillan. McMillan on the bounce pass up top. Ray White's going to drive into the paint. Pulls up, shoots, and scores.
Another great seal off screen. Daniel Seton was able to take his man and seal him off on the backside, and then seal the defender on the drive down the lane on the front side, able to pick off 2 men with the screen.
Dan Valeria with the ball, nice feed inside. LESKO open for the reverse, and he gets the layup. He's got his first 2. 21-15, Dan Valeria leads by 6. Wallace with the ball, 11:20 to go in the half. In the corner, a 3 on the way, in and out for Ray White. Loose ball on the floor. Mathis will pick it up, and the Governors will continue control. Deron White to the right-hand side, Ray White. Ray out beyond the arc, up top Seton. Around the perimeter, McMillan on the left-hand wing. He'll drive to the baseline, off the glass and good.
And he's got a big smile on his face. He knew he just took his man to the basket, and it's one of those playground moves where you taunt your player, you taunt your opponent as soon as you go right around him.
Sanders slowly pounding the leather against the wood across the midcourt stripe. To the right-hand side, direct into the lineup for John Spezia. Bounce pass, LESKO, free throw line jumper, good. He's got 4.
The height advantage that the Jaguars have is playing a big part. Souder now LESKO.
On the left-hand side, Duran White to Ray White and back to Duran. Duran to the right-hand side is going to be cut off, feeds to Seton, picked off by AKERS. AKERS on the move, and the layup is good. AKERS with his first 2 points of the game, and there's a timeout on the floor. It's a 30, 10:22 to play here in this first half, and a 25-17 lead by Danville area.
Now, Scott, you talked about it before the game, the fact that the Jaguars could get up and run with teams. If you look at it, we're not even halfway through the first quarter, but the Jaguars are a quarter of their way to 100 points.
Tim, just some interesting numbers from the first 16 games of this tournament. Teams are shooting, and these are combined totals now. Teams are shooting 45% from the field. That's 975 through 2,166 attempts, shooting 32% from outside the arc. And in fact, 28% of all shots taken in this tournament so far have been three-pointers. Here's the big number, and I can't believe this. Free throws shot in this tournament, 641 out of 941, 68%, but more importantly, 1.4 free throws every minute of basketball we have seen. And again, those numbers courtesy of Fred Croner at the News-Gazette. Wallace with the basketball, a three on the way from the corner, it's good. Mario Otis with his first three.
They're knocking down the threes. That free throw number that you mentioned there, I'm banned from doing math, but I think that's about 60 free throws per game.
Wow. Out to the left-hand side, Danville area. Shedrick Crawford into the lineup, gives the ball to Pachariz. Pachariz on the right-hand side, drives back to Crawford. Crawford with an opening, lost the handle on the ball. Seton going after it. McMillan on the feed, up the floor, catches the ball but lost the handle. Durrett tries to save. McMillan will steal. Into the Wallace forecourt. They kick down into the right-hand corner. A three by White is good.
They've had 3 shots from about that same spot. McMillan had one, White had one, and the possession before that, they've all drained three-pointers from that corner.
I don't know what Eddie Barnes said in that 30 seconds, but it sure has his team fired up. They trail by 2. 9:11 to go here in the first half. Durrett with the ball on the left-hand side for Danville area. Bounce pass inside, kicked away. And the Jaguars are going to get it back over on the left-hand side.
Well, I think one of the things Coach Barnes may have said is, we've got them playing our type of game. And the Jaguars are making sloppy passes. We've been making sloppy passes. We need to make our better passes, get them to the open man and knock down the shots and keep running. I don't think the Jaguars have had either team shot clock under 15 seconds so far in this first 11 minutes.
Well, now, originally they said that Wallace had kicked the ball, and therefore the ball came back to Danville area. Now, after the officials' conference, they're going to say that the ball was slapped out of the middle, not kicked out of the middle, and now Wallace will get the basketball. Across the timeline, Sanders with the ball, gives to the left-hand side. Works it to Reggie Taylor. Taylor to the top. Ray White now to the Sanders, out on the left-hand wing. Dribbles to the top of the key. In the circle, he's going to be hand-checked up top by Eric Durrett. Durrett will pick up his first personal foul. It'll be the 6th against Danville area. And from here on out, for the next 8:48 of this first half, the Governors are going to be in the bonus.
But it's a key that that foul came now, 8:48. Back at 15:42 was when Danville had committed that 5th foul.
Sanders up top, almost stripped away. Gives the ball to the right-hand side, Otis. He'll bring him back to Sanders. Sanders on the left-hand side, and he's going to be hand-checked again by Durrett. That's the second one on him, the 7th against the green and gold, and off to the charity stripe will go the Governors.
And 2 really quick fouls is going to put Durrett on the bench.
Stepping to the stripes will be Sanders. Sanders to shoot the front end of the 1-and-1. And the first one is good. Jason Sanders with his first point. Mathis with 3, Otis with 3, McMillan with 10, White with 5, and Harris with 2.
And we can add to that free throw total.
And the second one on the way is up, and it is good. 2 more free throws attempted in this tournament. 59 is all that's needed in the next 2 games to eclipse the 1,000 mark for the tournament. That, boys and girls, is a lot of free throws in 4 days. Jaguar basketball on the give, down low. Sanders tossed it up and missed it in the rebound by Wallace. Tied at 25, 8:18 left to go here in the first half. Taylor in the corner, gives to Seton, back up top Taylor. Taylor's going to dribble around the top of the key. Hands it off to Sanders, back to Taylor. Taylor to the left-hand side. Stop to the free throw line, dribbles to the baseline. Feeds it all the way up top to Otis. Otis out on the left-hand side. Works the ball to White. White to Sanders. Sanders will take it into the lane. Kicks it out in the corner. Three on the way. Got it! Otis with his second three-pointer of the game. He's got 6, and it's a 3-point Governor lead. Out to the left-hand side, Sanders with the Danville area ball. Gives to Petty. Petty on the cross-court feed to Pachariz. Pachariz down inside to AKERS. AKERS is called for the charge.
Something interesting for the Jaguars they're having trouble with. If you look at their lineup right now, AKERS and Petty are the tallest players on the court at 6'5", and they're not able to get the same inside presence they had with SOWDER and LESKO playing down low. Right now they're having a little trouble getting the ball down low to where they want it and not creating turnovers is what the Governors are doing.
7:37 left to go here in this first half of basketball. St. Joseph Ogden High School, who has by far one of the best pep bands you're going to find anywhere in this area, performing here tonight on championship night. Those of you watching along on television see the 3,400 number on your screen. We can actually add to that by a couple of hundred. The 50-50 drawing is now at $3,603 to the winner. That's to the winner.
Scott, something from those numbers you mentioned earlier. For the tournament, teams are shooting 45% from the field. I find that an interesting number because we've talked about it. The number of bunnies that have been missed throughout this tournament, that could easily be closer to 50%.
Tell you another quick stat, 29% of all buckets in this tournament have come off assist. Here's a steal. Wallace threw it right into the hands of Sanders. Sanders for Danville area throws it up. He missed it, and we've got a foul. This is going to be down under the Danville area bucket, and the foul is going to be on Mario Otis.
I wasn't able to see if Sanders had picked the ball up to make that little stutter step, but if he had, he may have got away with a little bit there. If not, it was a great move to try and freeze the defender and then make him slide, which he did.
You also want to know how quick we're scoring in this tournament and how many points we're putting through the net. A point is scored every 14 seconds.
Every 14 seconds?
Yep.
You know, what is it, 2 shot clock violations?
That's all we've had in the entire tournament, and Danville area was involved in both of them. First free throw is no good. The second one is for Sanders. He's got his 5th point. 7:15 left to go in the first half, 28-26. Wallace Community College with a 2-point lead and the basketball. Out to the right-hand side, they give to White. White on the baseline, pulls up, shoots, scores. He gets the 11-footer for his 7th point of the game.
And if you noticed after I mentioned the change in the Jaguar lineup, how they didn't have anybody tall in there, SOWDER comes back into the lineup. We'll see if they try to get him the ball down low.
Pachariz down on the baseline, gives to SOWDER. SOWDER to Pachariz. Pachariz beyond the perimeter, works it down to Petty. Petty on the baseline. Cross-court feed, but he bounced it off the rim. SOWDER picks it up, shoots, scores, fouled, and he's going to the line.
Well, they got the ball to SOWDER, but not really how you normally think it's going to get there. I wonder if you have to call that.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting. We've had so many discussions about what is and isn't an assist. If you throw the ball off the rim, on the bottom part of the rim, it drops down, a guy picks it up and scores. Is that an assist?
Oh, wow, that's a good question.
Clearly wasn't the intended receiver, but SOWDER makes good. He's got his 11th point of the ball game. 30-29, the 1-point advantage to Wallace Community College, and they're in the forecourt. To the right-hand side, they kick to Ray White. White with a stutter step moves to the top of the key. Now looks down in the corner, comes back upstairs, Sanders. Sanders off to the left-hand side, lost the handle on the ball. Coming out of the pile with it is Danville area. Over on the right-hand side, and it's going to be Petty. Petty to Pachariz. Pachariz into the forecourt, off to the left-hand side. Works the ball to Foster. Foster down low. Brings the ball around the left-hand wing. Dumps it inside. SOWDER back out top. To Pachariz from 3. Got it!
It's the 2-man game that they were playing on the one side. First was Petty, then was SOWDER. They're able to reverse it, screen back away, and get Pachariz the open shot. No one within 5 feet of him.
And Danville area up by 2. Wallace on the drive from behind. Otis is going to be blocked, and the ball into the hands of Danville area. Pachariz has it stolen away by Otis. Otis in the forecourt, feeds it all the way up top to Sanders. Sanders at the free throw line, spins, shoots, and scores.
Point off turnover right there. You've got 3 Jaguars in the backcourt. Make a sloppy pass, and we've talked about their sloppy passing. The steal turns into 2 points.
Tied at 32.